Hi, boys and girls. This is your Unit 14, Week 1, Day 4, Story Time. Today I'm going to read our unit story, Ross Gets Help, and we are going to work on our storyboard. So let's take a look at our story. I have the phrased version here, and this version helps when we are trying to work on our fluency and we want to be more automated with our words. We want to get a few words into each breath so that when you read, it's more like a conversation than like a robot. So I'm going to try to follow these phrases as I read. Here we go. When Ross was in second grade, he was having some problems with reading and spelling. He was working very hard and trying to do his best, but he thought the work was very hard. Sometimes he could not finish his papers or understand how to read or spell a word. He felt tired and drowsy much of the time. Okay, let's pause for a second and I want you to visualize exactly what is happening in the story. Can you picture our main character that was just introduced? Can you picture him in the setting? Where could that setting be? Hmm. Do you think the story begins at home or maybe at school? I know it's in my mind, and I'm going to share it with you in a little while. Now, let's take a look at paragraph 2. Each day seemed to get harder and harder. When his mother asked him how his day went, Ross wanted to shout, "Lousy!" Many days he came home with a frown. His mother wanted to see his big smile again, so she asked his teacher what she could do to help. His teacher thought that if he could get more help after school, the work would not seem so hard. She knew Ross was a smart kid and did not want him to get further behind. Okay, so what are you picturing here? Can you picture Ross's face when he's coming home from school? And then can you picture what mom is doing and the work she is doing to get him help? Okay, let's move on to our next paragraph. Ross's mother found a teacher who could help Ross after school. Her name was Robin. Robin and Ross hit it off right from the start. Ross would go to her house 3 times a week and work on reading and spelling. Robin showed Ross how to tap out the sounds to make reading and spelling easy. Does that sound familiar to you? What do you think he's working on? Sounds a little bit like Fundations to me. Okay, so he has a helper now. He has a teacher who's helping him. And can you picture where Ross is going to get that help? Okay, let's move on. Next paragraph. It was not long before Ross became a whiz at reading and spelling. He learned the rules quickly and knew all of the sounds of vowels. He did not mind working after school. He seemed to enjoy it. He always came with a smile and worked very hard, even if he had to miss part of his swim team. He never pouted or complained. He was happy to get help. Okay, so it looks like things were turning around for our main character. He seemed to enjoy now the fact that he's getting better at something, right? Okay, now, final paragraph. Robin thought Ross was an outstanding student and a great kid. As a matter of fact, he was one of the best students she ever had. They had a fine time working together. Even with all of the hard work Ross did, they still found time to joke around and chat about sports. Before long, Ross would not need any help. He would do fine in school on his own. Robin would miss seeing Ross, but would be glad that he had done so well. She would always want to stay in touch. Okay, so it had a happy ending. He no longer really needed the help, but they still remained friends and they kept in touch. Okay, so hopefully you've pictured the entire story in your head. Are you ready to make a movie? Okay. Now, boys and girls, I found a really cool tool. It's called Storyboard That. And if you check your clever, you might find it there. And you can make your own stories using it. I did my retell today. Instead of drawing the pictures, I wanted to try this out. So I want you to take a look. What I have here, I added a bunch of story cells, and then I was able to choose characters and different background settings in each of the cells. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show it to you in a slideshow. So, of course, I have my title, Ross Gets Help. So, as a retell, Ross was in school and he was having a really hard time with reading, writing, spelling. When he came home, he was really upset, and his mom was wondering what she should do. So she contacted Ross's teacher, and the teacher suggested that he get more help after school. Mom called up a teacher that would give him that help after school, and her name was Robin. And Robin agreed that Ross can go to her house and she would help him. So Ross would go to Robin's house 3 times a week for extra help. Robin showed Ross how to tap out his words. And soon he started to get better and better. Here he is in class again. He looks a little bit more confident this time, right? And then when he would come home from school, Ross's mom noticed that he was no longer upset. He was actually excited. And he didn't even mind that he was missing out on swim class. Ross and Robin would continue to meet, and they would laugh and chat about different things like sports. Soon, he no longer needed her help because he had improved in school. But they were still friends and they still kept in touch. So that was my storyboard. I hope you liked it. Do you see how you can take your mental images and you can bring them to life? This is what I pictured in my mind, but your picture could be totally different, right? It's fun. So if you have a chance, check it out. Bye, boys and girls.